Hello, everyone. It's Jules, and welcome to my stream. Um, Kind of a little surprise stream today. Uh, I, I usually just do a video tomorrow, which is my Transition Tuesday videos. But today I had to get more rest. I was sent home from work. Uh, because they had me go get checked out by the employee health, and it turns out I have COVID-19. Um, so now tomorrow will be day 5, so I can go back and get tested tomorrow. If I am negative tomorrow, I have to test Thursday again and make sure I am negative. Once I'm cleared 2 negative tests, then I am cleared to go back to work. Um, so, if you're new here to the channel, I see you there, Alice. Welcome. Um, Thank you always for the compliments. Um, for those of you, if anybody is joining us, like I'm sorry for the hoarse voice, like I said. Also, remember, whenever you are on my channel, I'm Jules, and you are one of my treasures. Um, on my channel, a lot of things we talk about are, as I always say, are the 5 T's. We talk about transition, as I am a 53-year-old transgender woman, so we can talk about anything transition or transgender. We can talk about triathlon. I am a triathlete. That's the second T. We can talk about training, and when I talk about training, I talk about uh, training in triathlon, or the 3 different sports in it, even archery, because I like to do archery. We can talk about different trends, like some of the clothing, and any tips. And tips, I like to give tips on preparing for any type of emergency you may have at home. I was an ER nurse for 13 years and a road medic for many other years. So, um, oh, I'm sorry he lost his game. I know it's hard when they do, when kids, um, when they lose. I used to coach swimming a long time ago. Yeah, and it was hard when you know you try to coach kids to get first, but they get upset when they don't. Um, but then it just helps them improve. I think people need to learn from that. Um, uh, One of the big things I've always had issues with in the past few years is um, how to give a prize to every kid. So, I think we got to learn in life that it, at times we're going to come in second place. Good, Alice. That's good because you're expressing your feelings. Especially if you are on hormone therapy, you should express. Your feelings will manifest themselves more than usual. That's absolutely normal. Um, how, how can I can give you an example. I was watching Top Chef Junior, and they were doing the final cut with the kids, or the at the end of one of the shows, and they were doing the final cut, and um, And when Gordon Ramsay was saying the cut, but how much he praised the kid and how much he cared about him, to watch Gordon Ramsay cry about this kid made me tear up. So it's our hormones that we take will make our emotions. I'm sorry, I'm adjusting the camera. Make our emotions a little different. Um, went too low. Oh, I know. Oh, she cried. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to adjust my camera here. I think it just gets too much above my head. So she is willing to help you, huh? It's important to have someone in your. It's important to get that acceptance. It's important to have someone along your side to help. Um, right now, like with me, I have friends that are helping. Oh, is she? I used to work the night shift. Um, I worked a night shift for over 10 years in the emergency room. And then when I was a road medic, I worked 24-hour shifts. So I would work 24 hours, then I would have 48 hours off. I'd work a whole day and then have 2 days off. So every day was my Monday and every day was my Friday when I was at work. I don't know if you saw my video earlier. Today was kind of a awkward day. After coming home from work, I waited till about 11 to order me a pizza. And when I ordered it, apparently I went to my old address in Florida. So luckily Domino's canceled that order. And then I had to call the one here in New Mexico and order it here. So it's kind of a funny story. Excuse me, Alice. So like I said, today's stream it's gonna be short if because it was kind of an abrupt one, just because I ended up saying home due to being positive for COVID. Might change a lot of plans this week. Hopefully not next week, because mm, next week I am going to California. Um, I'll be traveling to San Diego. I think my plan was to go to or Saturday to a Pride Parade here in Albuquerque, do some coverage before doing my stream. Hold on one moment while I get some water. I was gonna go to the Pride Parade at 10 a.m., come back, and by 2 p.m. start my stream. I don't know if I'll be going to Pride, especially if I've been feeling this way. It's a large gathering, there would be a lot of people there, and if I were still contagious, I wouldn't want to be the person to start spreading this around. So it it will depend on what the doc says. Also, anybody that does join in, and if you're a new viewer, always feel free to hit a like, a subscribe, share the video, comment down below. Where this channel is pretty new, and we're almost at 100 subscribers. At 102, my plan is to do a small giveaway. Which will be for this Coyote Brown canteen and a little individual first aid kit. Right now it is empty, but it will be full of first aid supplies. I'm big on giving these away because I like teaching preparedness. And preparedness could be for anything. It doesn't mean that, like how I used to live in Florida, you needed to be ready for hurricane season. But you could be ready for a natural disaster in any part of the world. There are different types. And, we just need to have certain things like this. Having a nice small one like this, you can put in the car. I can lift my car is a hatchback, so you open the hatch, and then where the spare tire goes, my car didn't come with a spare tire. They're building them like that nowadays. There's a little compartment, and you can slide it in there. There's a little slot, and also you can attach it to a backpack. Well, Alice, my day, I don't know if you heard, today I went to work, got sent home. I was actually first sent to see employee health, and they sent me over to the COVID testing area, and I have COVID-19. I know it's hard when they're not around, Alice. I know you miss her. Did it hurt your chest? And how long have you been on your HRT? Because once the yes, once your breasts start developing, um, they start to hurt because they're growing, and um, you will feel that the areola or the glands inside will start developing. And one might be larger than the other at times, which is normal. And if they're hurting you, you live here in the United States, right? You're in Texas, if I'm correct, right? Um, that seems to me like you're almost 10 months into it, as opposed to, because you're saying August and it's 2023. Okay, so what I would suggest is going to Walmart. I found these like tank tops or camis. In fact, I have one on right now, and they're like this. And then up here, this is like a bra strap. It adjusts, makes it tighter up here, and but it goes all the way down like a tank top, and it keeps the girls supported and without having to wear a bra. And they're very, very comfortable. And they're inexpensive. Yeah, I'm at 3 months and I'm getting mine. Uh, what I have here, as you can see, is a slash B cup. Because right now I am wearing a stick-on bra to help them keep them supported, and then with this little cami on top of them, so it keeps that applied, and then my blouse. Well, definitely you have to be more girly. Me, I had to wait till I moved out here from Florida. Um, Not even at home could I be. Now I come when I'm not out at work yet, so once I get home, I'm in and I do my makeup. I, you know, and then that's why I love doing my little live streams. I love doing my videos, um, so I can get out to as many people as possible, which is a good thing because it gives another good way for both of you to bond. Sharing clothes is a great way. Um, Did you check out the website I gave you? That's where I got this top. I got this here. I got this little um, swimsuit. And then what I'll be wearing tomorrow on Transition Tuesday. As usual, I like doing like a little tank top. I do with my little camo tank top. So yeah, what I try to do is for what I can go to like a store here, I'll go on Temu and I'll purchase like $50 worth of stuff, and I'll probably get what it would cost me almost 100 to $200 worth of stuff. I'll save me like 100 to $150, and I just wait an extra week on shipping, and and it works. I love it. Hi, Alice. Are you saying hi to me? I know you're here. I saw that you said your wife and you share clothes, which is, like I said, is really cool. Is there someone else on here? I see that there's two, or is that counting just me and you? Hello, welcome to the stream. This is Jules. We're on Jules Treasures. Yeah, well, starting next week, I'll be off. I'll be gone for about a week. Starting next Wednesday, the 12th, and through about the 18th. I may be putting posts on there, but I'll be in California traveling. I'll be visiting family. Alice, do you think you could ever do your own YouTube channel? Or even do like do a conversation here with me and Colbert and other people? Ah, okay. I get what you're saying. What are you doing tonight? Are you just here on YouTube as usual, or I know you're probably watching the baby, but are you doing anything else? Right, right. I remember what you said her job was. So, yeah, that's important. Many people like in those positions usually use a pseudonym, so you know they're not found on social media. Ah, okay, that's good. She rests. Hope we can get more people in here today. The other day we had someone join us in here, not just Cola Berry, but another gentleman. Um, and so it was good to start seeing more people come in. Um, now he knows that from now on I'm going to be doing live streaming on Saturdays, scheduled at 2 p.m. every Saturday from now on, except for okay, I'm streaming this Saturday, but the next Saturday I probably won't. Guess I'll be in California. Your crush age gear? What do you mean? Or do you mean you need your crush here? Yeah, I remember you said you'll be in Vegas. What day do you leave to Vegas? I think we were going to be there maybe even close to the same day. Yeah, I know you meant Cola Berry. Once I figured it out that there was a typo in there accidentally, though. You're like me when I type. I type a lot of extra letters. And I would probably type Vegas the same way. Oh, okay. So I'm leaving New Mexico on the 12th in the evening. So I'll be landing in Vegas. Oh, I think I'll be there like at 8 o'clock on the 12th, and on the way back on the 19th. No, on the 18th. I may change my flight on the way back and stay there a little bit longer and maybe play some slots. I don't know. So you actually leave in the next couple of days. You leave in the next 3 days. Do you have your stuff ready? And what hotel are you staying in? I was in Vegas like 2 years ago and stayed at the Excalibur. Ah, okay. Yeah, I stayed at the Excalibur. Um, but we did walk, the whole strip. Um, I was with my daughter and my mother and my cousin, and all of us just walked up and down. Uh, I took $100 uh, for gaming, or if that's basically, or for the slot machines. That's what I tend to do. I did play some poker machines or blackjack machines, which I did pretty good at. Oh, that's a nice hotel. Um, and I was actually doing pretty good. I came back with more money than I left with, and than I got there with, but like 50% more. If I went with $100, I I came back with 150. I mean, I know how to control myself, so I always watch what you need to do. I figured out is you watch which slot machines have multiple ways to win. Um, I'm gonna tell you the one that was hitting for me was one that has like three columns like this, has a purple dragon on it, and it's spread out. You'll see them everywhere in Vegas because those machines, what they have is they have a progressive jackpot, and those jackpots are progressing anywhere in the United States that they have that specific machine. So whoever's putting in quarters in Florida on that type of machine is feeding into that jackpot in Las Vegas. Or, so that's how they work. Um, so what I do is like if I had $100, I split it into 20s. I'll put 20 bucks in there, and then I'll place, high bets, like, $5, like I'll do $1, and build up. And then it'll give you these bonus games, and then it'll give you some extra money. So then, right when you get some of the extra money, and I'll do like a $5 bet, and that's when it tends to give you some extra bonus games, um, and bonus spins. So um, you just, but once you start making money, know when to cash out. So if you see you have $100 in the bank, don't want to try to make it 200. If I took 20 and put in 20, made 100, I would cash out those 100, put the receipt aside, and then I would start with another 20 from scratch. And, and oh wow, that's nice of you. It will be Pride Month there too. They're big. In fact, last time I was in Vegas was in June. It was Pride Month, and you'll see like the New York hotel will be, it lights up in pride colors. A lot of you'll see that a lot of the buildings will be lit up in rainbow colors, and you can totally go and be yourself. You could be, you know, dressed as Alice, you know, be out, and if you want to wear some uh, heels or look, this is what I would, something I suggest. Um, these are what I like wearing most of the time. Are some little boots. The heel is flat and it's wide. Um, that way I'm not on stilettos yet, but they look cute with jeans. You can put them on with the right color dress. I want to get some black ones so they match a lot of other items. Um, I have my shoes, are very, very different. I can go get you another pair of boots right here, right now that I have, and they're knee high, um, full leather boots. But I can, wear those in another video. I've done it before. Um, you can do what you want. But some boots like that, I would suggest, especially to walk the strip. They're not uncomfortable. Um, and in fact, I like them a lot. I bought them at Walmart. They were about $20. In fact, I've seen them on sale lately. Just go in and try the right size on. I know, like, I'm a size 10 in guys, so that means it's a oh, okay. Sounds like fun. Yeah, that's what I saw. While you're in Vegas, if you ever will, I'm gonna recommend two things that you should have. I don't know if you have them in Texas, but there are at least two in Vegas. go to have an In-N-Out burger because that's the first thing I'm gonna land and have in California. And if you want good old-fashioned Mexican street tacos, go to a place called Tacos El Gordo. So I'm gonna type them in here for you. This, this one, Tacos El Gordo, the original one is in the city in San Diego where I grew up in. Um, and Tacos El Gordo, they have all the different types of meat you would find at street vendors. And you go and you get a tray. It's probably about to good close to half my desk here. And then you go up to the one guy doing carne asada and you ask him for, I think when my friend and I went last time, he, it was each of us got 4 carne asada, 4 al pastor, and and there was like we each got a dozen tacos and we sat there and ate them. They were good. Good salsa. Just put lime, salsa, salt on them. They're good. Then In-N-Out, I know it's like, no, I haven't had Primrose for dinner. Excalibur also had a really good pasta restaurant, and they served you this big old plate of pasta, and it would be like one plate was good for like the whole family, and then you had to order like so if you ordered spaghetti, whether you wanted meatballs on it or sausage or it was really good. Um, this one's really good. It's inside Excalibur. But you need to have like if you do order for if you went there and it's just you and your wife, it would you would only have to order like a half plate of pasta because their servings are so large. Yeah, the primrose looks good. I think most of I don't know. Um, check on their website. Let's look real quick. Okay, from what I read and I understand, is that it has areas that are non-smoking, and areas that are smoking. Watch, okay. This is right off of their website. Here's their policy. Right there in my comment, that's their policy. It says we have designated smoking areas throughout the casino bars and other areas, but use of marijuana is prohibited in both smoking and non-smoking areas. So there are parts of the casino that are smoking and other parts that are non-smoking. So you just got, if you're looking for non-smoking, just look for the non-smoking section. Honestly, I worked in a casino, um, mm, right when my daughter was going to be born. So that was like 24 years ago. And this was in California, but it was on an Indian reservation. So Indian reservations aren't part of, don't follow, have to follow the laws of the state government, and therefore people could smoke inside the casino. And when I started, the casino was very, very small, mainly a card room and bingo hall. Then they expanded it to a huge casino, and they put this filtration system where I think every hour it should completely cycle out all the air out, um, to get new air. Why don't you know if she'll be back? You said she's working the night shift. Is there something going on that, excuse me, there's something going on that you feel that she wouldn't come back? I understand the the border is a very dangerous place. Um, I like I said, I grew up um, in San Diego. Um, I remember, not just that this part's dangerous. The at that time the illegal immigrants would come across the highway and you'd have to slam on your brakes. But yes, the cartel violence has gotten really, really bad. Where you're at, it is bad. Where I lived, it was bad. um, my brother-in-law was involved heavily with them, and when he finally got caught, there was a big article in the Mexican media about him getting caught, and um, yeah, I would worry about my sister all the time, and I still do. You know, he, it's one of those things. Yeah, it's scary. It is scary. Um, and if we're fighting all these wars like across on other countries, and we fought the war in Iraq, the war in Afghanistan, and everything. And at one point, I thought, why can't we just use the military to protect our border? But we can't. In fact, I did an essay about this when I got my bachelor's degree in one of my classes. Um, and we cannot put the military on the border. We can only put the president or the governors of each state can put the National Guard there, um, and the ones with water, like California and Texas, can also deploy the Coast Guard, but um, nothing else. You cannot put the Army, Navy, Air Force, or Marines in those areas. It is not allowed by the law of posse comitatus. Well, I know it would be hard. Many times I thought the same way a while ago. Um, and I don't know how to give you the right answer for that. Um, my first wife, I never thought I could be without her. We were very happily married. We were, if you knew anything about the Mormon religion, we were sealed in the temple, which meant that we were married for eternity. And then, so no matter what, we'd always be together. And then we ended up getting a divorce. Just long story. And I learned eventually to move on, you know. And then my second wife, um, just there are many issues. Um, and, I did things wrong. There were things that both of us did wrong. And I found my job over here, and I had to finally find a place to go where I could transition safely and be myself. And I know it's hard to say what you would do without her. And I can say that now, like I feel I found a way, but we are all individuals and we all adjust differently. And that's one of the things. Why would you stop transition? That would probably hurt you more. That's There's no reason to stop transition. My my ex hated my transition. That's one of the final factors that made us split up. And um, look at me. Here I am transitioning. She just called me some weird freak, fag, queer thing. She everything she could think of. But and and then I'm not gonna stop transitioning because we split up. Alice, I will tell you this. If you become too sad and you think that stopping your transition because you lose your wife, will probably stopping the transition will make you more depressed. Because if you feel that you are, and from if you feel that you are a woman and you stop transitioning, now it's going to be two things that are going to make you sad. You're going to continue to be more dysphoric and feel uncomfortable. And then, you know, hopefully nothing happens to your wife. I don't know. I understand you're worried about all the cartel violence, but let's think in the here and now. She's CBP, right? Customs and Border Patrol. Nowadays I know they're well equipped. Um, I know in fact, but yet I know the cartels are well equipped too. My uncle was the director of the DIU for U.S. Customs and Border Patrol, the Drug Interdiction Unit, and he was there for many years. I have another uncle that was DEA and worked in Colombia in the big cartel years with Escobar. He helped take down Escobar. He retired from DEA. Both of my uncles that were, in things that had to do with major cartels, both lived till retirement. Alice, are you just looking for affirmation from her? It looks like, from what I understand from your words here, it's a unless her last words not to stop. It sounds like you feel that, I don't know. From what I read there, it almost feels like you almost feel like she not fully accepting of it yet. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I think what you need to do is focus on the fact that she's one doing something to defend this country, um, from one of the other types of terrorism that it faces. Um, she is helping everybody's families. She is serving us just as, all those military men and women do. Um, you need, focus on these positive things. Um, also, you need to focus, you know, and the here and now, that, and focus on her coming back every day. Um, you gotta look at everything at the glass half full. I know there's always that big worry because, yes, it is trying times out there. I tell you, I've had it happen in my family. Well, that's the first step. You gotta think, if you the reason we all of us that are transitioning, whether it's male to female or female to male, we transition because we have dysphoria. We feel uncomfortable the way we were born. Okay, and there were many things that showed me that since I was you know raised a little boy, but I knew there was something different about me. And when I started realizing that, you know, I like one, wearing women's clothes and um, putting on makeup. Um, I realized, that this is something I have to do for myself, because if I don't do it, I'm never going to feel right about myself. And then if I didn't do it, then when this life will probably just wouldn't be right. So, it's just one of those things. You know, we can't let obstacles really, get in the way. I mean, yes, we can, if anything happens, we got to find our coping mechanisms. There are always trials that are going to pull us back. Um, do you know why I have this on my arm? Looks like we have a third person in here. Yeah, I know. I've heard stories about what happens in that, and I've seen real life stuff. Um, like I said, my brother-in-law was a member, and I've seen stuff. So yeah, I know the stories. The thing is, the more you worry, the worse you make it on yourself. And the last thing you got to do is start putting it into your mind that she's not coming home. like both of my aunts, like one of my aunts, when you hear about the history of the Escobar cartel in Colombia, there was a small airplane that four DEA agents got killed in. It crashed out there. And I think she had already divorced my uncle at the time, but she was worried that he was one of them. And it took forever to find out if he was or not. Okay, so you're doing your transition for you. That's good. And yes, as humans, we worry about our spouses and if they have jobs that are dangerous, or any family. What do you mean you go mama bear on your wife? And how do you know she's watching YouTube? Only, it looks like in here it's only me and you. At one point, it looked like there was three, but no one's ever logged on to talk. So you think she's here right now? What what does she do for CBP? She an agent? Really, in that line of work, I don't think sharing an email would be a good idea. And if she's on here, do you think it's a good idea to, so Alice, are both of you on this Alice Elsa email? Especially if she has that job, why why share an email? And is she on her own phone or a government phone? Because me working for the government, I was going to be issued a government laptop, a government computer, and I wouldn't want to put any of this on my government stuff. And usually, when you have an email account, it's pretty encrypted, and it ends in .gov. Ah, okay. So it's just a different name on the same account. Okay, on her personal one. Yeah, because when you are issued, like for example, once I get my government, can you see me? Once I get my issued my government laptop, I I'll have to bring it home, call them, so I can hook it up to the Wi-Fi here at my house, so they recognize the Wi-Fi numbers, which is kind of funny because the Wi-Fi to my house, I nicknamed it El Federale. So Alice, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go for about okay. So Alice, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go for about 10 more minutes till the live clock up there says 1 hour 30 minutes. So it gives us about just 10 and a half minutes. Um, we've been here an hour and a half talking, as usual. Usually our live streams here tend to be about an hour and a half to two. I gotta maybe make me some dinner, take my medicine. My dead name, I really don't give it out, but it's very similar to Jules. In fact, that's where I got Jules from. At first, my new name, and if you watched any of my first videos, my very first videos, I was gonna start. My original new name was gonna be Tristana. I was gonna go with, and and I had some friends already. One friend calling me that all the time, or two friends that would call me by that, and then I had everybody that I knew already called me Jules as a nickname. So I decided, you know what? That's going to be an easy change. I won't have to tell anybody. I can go change my name in on my birth certificate, and you know, the other part of the name will be the that's the dead name, and but I still have to go do it legally. Um, I gotta. I do want to change the gender on my driver's license. Uh, when I moved from Florida, you seen what? um, when I moved from Florida to New Mexico, I went to get my new driver's license. And supposedly in New Mexico, you can just tell them to change your gender on your driver's license. You don't have to do all this legal mumbo jumbo. You can just ask them to put you as gender X, or if you want them to change you to female, you can do female gender. And the lady there said, "Oh no, your Florida license says you're male. I have to put you as a male." So next time I go back, because I have to get the real ID for travel, which is by 2025, I think April. So like a year, less than a year from now. Um, you have to have all your verifications, including your birth certificate and everything. I'm gonna try to change my gender on my birth certificate by then, um, and then just change. It's a lot of things I'll have to change my gender on and my name because of nursing license. And what I'll do, I should change it this year on my nursing license. 2025, I need to I will change it on there, and I'm gonna expand my nursing license to where it's valid to like 40 states. The thing I like working with the federal government is that if I have a nursing license in Florida, it's good in every territory of the United States. I can go work in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and I don't have to get a license there. Yeah, like I said, I just got Jules because I was already called that by everybody. So what I'm gonna do is I am probably gonna keep Tristana as my middle name. So it'll be Jules, Tristana, and then my last name. Oh. I'm trying to figure out, I know I'm going to do a video tomorrow because tomorrow's Tuesday, and I always do my Transition Tuesday videos on Tuesdays. In fact, I got to go out to my car, get my little notebook, do some notes on maybe do a graph so I can show how my blood work is going. And then I don't know, maybe if I should do another live stream because I'll be home. In fact, I could scheduling it. I can schedule. Yeah, and isn't De La Fuente your last name? Yeah, Tristana will be my middle name. Now on so right there where it says on my when you used to sign into my channel right here, you used to see Jules, Tristana, and then the 5T1. And then I changed it to Jules, and then I changed it to Jewels, Jewles. So I used to call everybody my Jules. But I decided, then I bumped into when they said the word treasures, and I liked that a lot. So that's why everybody on my channel is considered one of my treasures. Because I find them on here like you would go find a treasure. So, and Jules treasures. Now, I've talked on my channel about 5T1. Actually, the number 51 is a very lucky number for me. My first TV show I used to watch as a kid was about paramedics, and their unit number was 51. And then my first email address was the was a J, then my last name, then 51 at hotmail.com. And then I worked at a research center, and by coincidence, my office was called Area 51. Um, so 51's always revolved around my life. At age 51, I came out. So it's kind of cool. So I changed it to the 5T one because I talk about the 5Ts on my channel. Because I like to talk like I always say, talk about transition because we're all transitioning. If you are transgender on this channel, you're transitioning always. There's never an end to transitioning. Um, talk about I talk about triathlon because I like to do triathlon. Talk about training. When I talk about training, it means I will talk about my triathlon training. I will go to the archery range, maybe even the gun range, and train people how to properly use a firearm. Um, I'll talk about trends, so different clothing trends and tips. So, I talk about a lot about survival tips. It took me, I kind of got that from the good old, do you ever watch the movie Dodgeball? In the 5 Ds of Dodgeball, dodge, dip, dive, duck, dodge. I thought, oh, that would be cool. And one of my first videos, I'm like, yeah, we talk about the 5 Ts. And I kind of go like this, and a little slide pops up. It has the 5 Ds on there. I'm like, oops, push that away. Okay, yes, Elsa, I understand. It is hard to share about transition with people. Um, my big thing was when I was in Florida. Florida is very middle ground about it. I think they're more to anti, but there's some people that are having good experiences. I'm not gonna say that all of Florida is this way, but where I was, it wasn't good for trans people. And what happened is my ex, she was that one of those, um, and I didn't tell people at work because I started transitioning. I started hormones. I was on hormones for 6 months back then, and yeah, I'd walk around work protecting myself because yes, you know how things hurt when someone rubs up against you, and she and even my RN, because I'm an LPN, we had an LPN and RN in the group, and we would work like if I'm here, she would work like at the other end of another desk or the same desk, but my area is this big. Here where my TV is, and another side right there, and she would be over there. I never told her, and we were like brother and sister, but I couldn't tell her. One, I don't know how her religious beliefs would fall into it, if she was very, very Christian. Um, and then the main people I told at work over there were people that I found out were members of the LGBTQ community. Um, And yeah, they were very accepting. And the first one I told, in fact, she's the one that started calling me by my first new name, calling me Tristana, but um, and the other one asked me, and I said, call me Jules, and and that's what she started calling me, and so I continued going by Jules, and that's how I've adjusted, and then it just takes time. Now, when I moved out here, I came out to my nurse that's used to sit right next to me over there. And with her being so Christian and everything, she was so accepting. I couldn't believe it. She says, you'll always be the person I knew. You'll always be that good, hardworking OPN I had. So yeah, you got to test the waters a little bit and figure out little by little who you can tell. I haven't told my family. I haven't told my mom. I don't know if she's ready for, lose a son, became a daughter. I mean, you're welcome. See, I think that's one of the biggest things when Berry and I did our first little talk together. And when we talked a little bit, um, we wanted to find a way to help people that are trans, and how to get them, one, help them, slowly come out. Two, with any issues that they're having in coming out, and especially the spouses or family, because all of us are having those issues. Like I said, I haven't come out to my mother or my sister or anybody. I need to come out at work. Things are starting to show. My polo shirts are starting to get tight up here. I'm gonna have to tell, I'm gonna have to come out soon because these are starting to come out. So, if they get bigger, then, if I get to a C cup, I'm either gonna have to buy bigger polo shirts or or a very, very tight sport bra. But, I need to come out to my daughter. She's 23. I've got a neighbor upstairs. He just walks around all the time, stomps around. Um, so there's a lot to it. We're all going through it. Take your time. Tell whoever you feel you're comfortable telling. That's what we all want to do. That's what made me so excited to move out here to New Mexico. Because now I have all new neighbors. Yeah, they've seen me walk in as a guy, but I've walked out as a girl before. My neighbor has a camera over his door, and I'm sure it's been noticed on camera. The other day I walked out and all the landscapers were out doing the gardening. But Alice, once again, I'm gonna go back to my tattoo here. I'll probably say this 1,000 times on my channel. I've said in 100 videos, probably, and arrows. I like to do archery. So when you grab your bow, and then you're gonna pull back on your arrow, you pull back on that arrow slow, very slow. You're aiming it. But when you release your arrow, that thing shoots out very fast and it moves ahead. Right now, all these little obstacles that we're facing, from being able to come out, being, slandered on by some people, or the trials that we're having in some states, that's everything that's pulling us back. But, like me, when I moved here, that was the release for me to move forward when I moved here. So now I can go out anywhere and I can pass. I can be me and move on with my life. I was able to go back to a nurse practitioner and get my hormone replacement therapy. Now is, you got to find that way to, if you feel things are pulling you back, you got to find that release. I think that would be cool. I think it would be cool to make, a meeting of a lot of us in person. I ever wonder if they have some kind of like trans person convention somewhere. I think that would be cool. Like, even if we're just male to female, but you have to make it equal because you can't make it unequal. It have to be all trans or all LGBTQ. That's what Pride's all about this month. So, and if you do go to any Pride events, just be careful. Both of us live in states where it's legal to carry firearms on your side in the open. So, and I own mine, but I haven't carried it out in public yet. I've wanted to, but I haven't seen a reason to. What I hear is Albuquerque is a lot more liberal, so not many people carry them on them. Unlike if you go to like some of the little towns on the outskirts, yeah, they say you see everybody carrying them. I think we're going to carry this on to the 2-hour mark. I think we got a good conversation going again. Yeah, I mean, it would have to be planned. I mean, me, I would need to figure out days off too. Then where it would have to be like a mutual spot. I think it'd be cool to have some kind of event. As we can grow the community here, I think it would be cool to have like an event eventually to meet everybody together. So we can find ways to find progress, move forward like the arrow. Actually, you notice that? It's like the green arrow. I'm a big green arrow fan too. So don't let anything. If you feel things are, like I said, remember, if it's pulling you back, eventually it's going to move forward. I do archery, and yes, you pull back on that arrow. It's real slow because it's really, really hard for a little bit. Then all of a sudden it's okay, and then you release it, and then that arrow travels really fast. An arrow can travel fast enough. They were invented in medieval times. They were used by the Mongols because they would pierce the body armor of knights. That's why the bow and arrow was invented. I mean, there were some earlier than that, but yeah, in the Crusades, they were used to pierce the body armor of knights. But at that time, they were using 100-pound draw weight. And they would put multiple arrows in between. They would put one arrow between each finger. Okay, Alice, go take care of the baby. And yes, we've gone over a little bit. We said we were going to do an hour and a half. So we're now an hour and 43 minutes. So I've seen that people have logged on and off here. It's mainly been Alice and I speaking. Thank you for joining the stream today. If you like what you see here, please hit a like, comment down below, share, and subscribe. Thank you.